ahead and get started. Welcome to this February edition of Eggs and Issues on this beautiful morning in Eau Claire with the river next to us. For those of you on Paragon, you can't see that, but that'll be an incentive to come next time in person. My name is Scott Rogers. I'm Vice President Governmental Affairs at the Eau Claire Area Chamber of Commerce. And I'm pleased to welcome you to our annual State of the City of Eau Claire program. We appreciate having you with us, whether you're here in person at the Pablo Center or participating online. We're going to get started shortly, but first, just a few quick announcements. First of all, the Eggs and Issues series is a business advocacy event. We want to recognize our investors who help make that possible. Those that provide support at the visionary level include Royal Credit Union, UW-Eau Claire, Wifley, and XL Energy. And also at the advocate level, we have Benedict Sales and Service, BMO Harris Bank, Chippewa Valley Technical College, Eau Claire Energy Cooperative, E.O. Johnson, Group Health Cooperative, Market & Johnson, Myron Construction, Northwestern Bank, WEAU, and Wind Technology. And we also have several sponsors at the Catalyst level. I will let you know our next Eggs and Issues, easy date to remember, will be March 18th. We'll have information soon on that planned program. And a number of you I know in the room are going to be joining us next week. On Wednesday, we're heading to Madison for the annual Chippewa Valley Rally, and we're really excited to be in person this year after having done it virtually last year. And then I do want to remind you that Oh What a Night, our annual meeting, will be coming up on March 31st. Still plenty of time to sign up. That will be at the Florian Gardens. Just one more housekeeping announcement. This program is being recorded. So as a registered participant, you will receive an email from us later with a link that you can access it, whether you're participating online or in person today. And our Paragon sponsor making that possible is Royal Credit Union. Also note the program is the property of the Eau Claire Area Chamber of Commerce, and any commercial or political use is prohibited without the express written permission of the Chamber. Now I want to make introductions, and to get our program started, I want to introduce Jen McHugh. She's Vice President of Community Engagement at Royal Credit Union, and Jen is also the Chair of the Chamber's Governmental Affairs Committee. Jen?
Thanks, Scott. We always appreciate the opportunity that Eggs and Issues provides to bring the public sector and the private sector together. And we want to acknowledge the local public officials who are with us this morning, and those are our elected public officials, including of course, we're going to be hearing more from him in just a minute, but that's Eau Claire President Terry Weld. Also from the Eau Claire City Council, Emily Berge, Jill Christofferson, and Jeremy Gregert. Hello. Altoona Mayor Brendan Pratt. Hello, Mayor. Altoona City Council, Matt Byron. On stream, that's right. That's right here on my notes. Thanks, Scott. Eau Claire County Board Chair, Nick Smyer. I know I saw Nick at the Orange Juice. Good morning. Eau Claire County Supervisors, Missy Christofferson, Jim Dunning, Judy Gatlin, Melissa Jansen, and Connie Russell. Great. So wonderful to have you all here with us today. Our program today will be led by top elected and appointed leaders of the City of Eau Claire, City Council President Terry Weld and Acting City Manager Dave Solberg. Terry is a longtime business person and realtor. He served on the City Council since 2017, having previously held the position of Chair of the Plan Commission. Terry was elected as City Council President in a special election in 2019 and was elected to a full 3-year term in 2020. Dave has been with the City of Eau Claire since 2013, serving as Engineering Director and City Engineer. In October 2020, he began service as Interim City Manager upon the retirement of Dale Peters. Before joining the city, Dave held civil engineering positions for over 19 years with the Wisconsin Department of Transportation. He holds a degree in civil engineering from UW-Platteville. So take it away, Terry and Dave.
Good morning to to all of you. And again, it's nice to be in a room with people and face to face. And we appreciate all of you joining us, and hopefully this continues to grow and grow and grow. So on behalf, again, I'm Terry Weld, President of the Eau Claire City Council. And on behalf of our entire City Council, I'm honored to present to you the 2022 Eau Claire State of the City. Standing beside me is our interim city manager, Dave Solberg, and I want to welcome Dave. Good morning.
Thank you, Terry, and good morning, everyone. Before we get started, I'd like to thank the Chamber of Commerce for hosting the State of the City address this morning. And I would especially like to thank Ms. Kathy Marole over here and Ms. Tess Morgan for their assistance with our presentation. It's an honor to be with you this morning to share the challenges from 2021 and, more importantly, the successes of the City of Eau Claire from 2021.
Not only will we reflect on 2021 and share our goals and vision for 2022, but we will also take a few glances back to 1872, the year Eau Claire received its charter as we celebrate our 150th birthday. No birthday cake this morning, but thanks to a few of our community partners like Visit Eau Claire and Volume 1, know that there will be numerous community celebrations throughout Eau Claire, celebrating our sesquicentennial these next few months. It's been fun looking back over the past 150 years and discovering the challenges and hardships that our community faced back then, and how some of those challenges and now triumphs still exist today. And throughout all of this, peering ahead to our 200th birthday and wondering what Eau Claire will be like in 2072. Mr. Solberg turns 99 that year, and he said he's buying. So, whether in 1872 or 2021, at the heart of what makes Eau Claire a successful community is the people and the collaborative spirit of everyone that lives, works, and play here in our city and region. A special thanks goes out to our first responders, medical campuses, pop-up facilities that have worked together as we continue to make our way through this pandemic. Thank you to all the various community organizations that unselfishly strive to have their voices be heard, encouraging healthy, inclusive, and equitable growth in our city. And thanks to all the volunteers that make up our boards, committees, and commissions. Your special efforts are vital to the success of Eau Claire. I want to take a moment to recognize and thank our City Council members. They are smart, they are caring, they are dedicated, and I am honored to serve and work alongside with them throughout these past 4 years. Emily Anderson, Kate Beaton, Emily Berge, Jill Christofferson, Council Vice President Catherine Emmanuel, Jeremy Gregor, Rod Jones, David Klinkhammer, John Lohr, and Andrew Worthman. Again, thank you. I also want to recognize and thank Mai Zhang, who served until the end of April in 2021 as well.
First of all, Council President Weld is absolutely correct. In our bicentennial celebration, I will be buying. I'll meet everybody downstairs in the lobby, and we'll have a party then. But today, however, I'd like to thank our excellent professionals who serve as our city's department directors. And for our directors that are here, if you could just give a quick wave. Community Services Director Renee Tyler is up front. Police Chief Matt Rokas, and our Fire Chief Chris Bell. Our interim library director, Shelley Collins Furbringer, and also our retired library director, Pamela Westby. Our human resources director, Vicki Selton, and our city attorney, Steve Nick. We have our finance director, Jay Winzens, and our acting engineering director and city engineer, Leah Ness. And rounding things out, we have our community development director, Scott Allen, and our health director, Lisa Giese. These hardworking professionals are the leaders that help push our organization forward and achieve so much in 2021. Health Director Giese has a few words for us now on how 2021 looked through the health department lens.
This year, as you've heard, we celebrate 150 years as a city of Eau Claire. We have been a health department for 80 years. Many of you know that I'm the daughter of a history professor. Not always my favorite subject, but I'm learning, and it's important. Prior to 150 years ago, we didn't have a clear understanding of the connection between health and basic science and social conditions. Life expectancy then was 38 years old. Many at the start of us having a city thought people were sick because of moral or spiritual reasons, not that there were societal things like sanitation, basic housing and employment protections, vaccination, and much more that could make a real difference. Drinking water and wastewater systems in Eau Claire, for example, are public health measures. Many started in the early years of the city. We would throw human waste on the street previously. A lot has changed in 150 years. At the health department, we use science and partnership to impact a whole variety of health topics: heart disease, diabetes, alcohol and drug misuse, mental health, infant development, safe housing, food and water, and much more. Partnerships and science make a difference, and they have for the last 2 years with COVID-19. Yes, COVID-19 is still an important public health topic. And there too, we focus on science and partnerships. My first thought related to COVID-19 is an ongoing thanks. Thanks to the businesses, schools, faith leaders, government, healthcare, not-for-profits, and many, many more who've leaned in despite how hard it is personally and organizationally. It's made a difference in our community. Also, thanks to the health department staff, both those that have been working with us temporarily during COVID-19 and also our permanent staff. They answer questions on our phone lines. They call positive cases. They work with businesses and schools. They vaccinate and test. They provide data and information on our COVID-19 website. They do that work and much more to make a difference, and it hasn't been easy. We've had challenges these past 2 years. Many are not new for our community. For example, people experiencing homelessness that were positive with COVID-19, and people with differing access to resources because of barriers related to poverty, related to geography or race. We have work to do as a community, but I think we're up for it. We don't know what the next 150 years will exactly bring. The health department and our community is ready, I think. We have a mission here to promote health and safety for all, and that'll guide our work in the years to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Liska, and for your service and compassionate message as we move forward into 2022. Thank you to the health department staff for all that they do for our city and for our county as well. This past year has been another exhausting effort, an incredibly challenging role, and we are forever grateful for their continued work ensuring the health and safety of our community. So let's begin the 2022 State of the City. Throughout the next 45 minutes, we hope to share with you a lengthy list of successes, inspiring video and photos, and our goals for the year ahead. Like many great cities and organizations, we have a mission statement to keep us focused as we lead and serve our city. It reads, "It is our mission to assure the common good through services essential for a safe, sustainable, engaged, and healthy community." These are words that our city council and our city staff strive to reflect in everything that we do. In addition to our mission statement, we rely on strategic goals and objectives to guide us and lead us in a forward motion. Stated within our strategic goals are the words to make Eau Claire livable, lovable, and fun. Help shine a light on how we have become this amazingly livable, lovable, and fun city. Please listen and watch as members of our community share with us a few of the many great attributes of Eau Claire.
In 1872, there were no parks the way we think of them today. However, even 150 years ago, the newspaper reported a public discussion about the need for breathing holes, green public spaces essential to large cities' health and well-being. People need public places to gather, indoors and out. Public spaces provide economic, social, health, and environmental benefits for every community member. In Eau Claire, public spaces are all around us. Both small neighborhood and large community parks offer a variety of amenities, including picnic pavilions and grills, tennis, basketball, and pickleball courts and playgrounds. Eau Claire has a skate park and another one is on the way. And we even have several dog parks, giving dog lovers and their furry friends a chance to socialize.
Hi, my name is Gabe Brummett. I'm from the Eau Claire Skaters Association. We've been advocating for skate parks for some time now because we believe in the power of public spaces. Skate parks are great examples of this because they encourage in-person social engagement. They also encourage unrestricted creative play. Another great thing about skate parks is that they attract users of all economic backgrounds, all genders, and all ages. You'd be hard-pressed to find a more diverse and inclusive outdoor public park. This new park in Boyd will attract tourists, which will add an economic benefit as well. We're very excited about the future of skateboarding in Eau Claire. Thank you for listening.
I'm always excited to promote our waterways and our green spaces. Our outdoor venues are improving and transforming lives each and every day. One look and you fall in love with the beauty of our waterways. One visit to a park and you'll feel energized by the sounds of laughter as people come together around common interests and form new and lasting friendships. How exciting is it to have more and more places that allow seniors to play with their grandkids and folks of all abilities and disabilities to come together and to play together. For me, a trip down the river or a visit to a park always leaves me feeling healthier, more resilient, and more connected to my neighbors, my friends, and my community. Time spent playing outdoors is such a powerful physical and mental health tonic for improving the quality of life for everyone. Our waterways and green spaces certainly showcase the heart and spirit of Eau Claire and why it is such a great place to live and play.
Trains roared into Eau Claire in 1870, a moment so important that a colossal celebration welcomed the first train. 2 years later, 1872 saw the city of Eau Claire's birth and the start of a horse-drawn street railway system that ran from the train depot on Putnam Street to Shawtown. 5 years later, the streetcar system was replaced with an electric railway system, one of the earliest in the nation. Today, Eau Claire continues to be a leader in recognizing and implementing safe, efficient, and affordable transportation options for everyone. Driving shouldn't be the only efficient option available. Multimodal options need to be available to meet residents and visitors' varied needs and desires.
Thanks so much for inviting me down here. I appreciate it. I'm super excited about the new transit center across the street. It's going to be awesome. And what's super important is for a community to have a multimodal transportation system that's safe and accessible for all populations. You know, vehicle, transit, air, freight, biking and walking, it's super important. One of the great amenities in the city of Eau Claire is the local and regional bike systems. So we have the local system, but we also have the 2 state trails. And lastly, I mean, I could talk about this all day. I love this stuff, right? But safe routes to parks and safe routes to school, the city has invested a lot of time into that. And my understanding is that the city is the only community in the state that has a safe routes to parks plan that they use. So super great stuff happening here in Eau Claire.
Well, Eric, I am very happy to have you here today. And this is exciting. You know, Eau Claire is doing a lot as far as transit is concerned, specifically with transit equity. We're doing things that are making transit accessible. We're investing a lot of money. We are buying electric buses. We have electric buses coming. We have a new transit center that's on the horizon. We're actually standing in the middle of the temporary transit site, and you can see some of the construction in the background. And, you know, with the connectivity of the trails and the walkways and the bikeways, we are certainly set and poised to be the top city in the state of Wisconsin with respect to accessibility for all people. Thank you again for being here.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. This is awesome. Yeah.
In 1872, residents lived in single-family homes, boarding houses, hotels, and company housing. Boarding houses worked as apartment buildings, except that residents received meals in addition to the rooms they rented. Lumber companies like the Northwestern Lumber Company on the Eau Claire River and the Daniel Shaw Lumber Company on the Chippewa River provided boarding houses and row houses for their workers. Today, the city of Eau Claire believes that local government is a stewardship, helping citizens meet their needs and helping the community solve problems. We can't always do this on our own. We need and value partners who can help. There is no more fundamental need than housing that's affordable.
My name is Keith Jonathan. I'm the city's housing manager and the Housing Authority Executive Director. In my capacity as housing manager, I am responsible for the administration of HUD's CDBG and home programs. Both of these grants help in the provision of affordable housing in the city. Keep in mind, affordable housing can and does include providing the actual housing units or the ability to provide loans and grants for low-income homeowners to make necessary repairs which enable residents to stay in their homes. We run a homeownership program in which we purchase, renovate, and sell homes to first-time homebuyers. Over the past 16 years, we have provided 28 homeownership opportunities and 162 homeowner rehab loans to city residents for a total investment of $8.5 million. The Housing Authority is responsible for the administration of subsidized housing programs, such as public housing, within the city limits. We currently have approximately 390 families on our waiting list. Our goal is to provide decent, safe, and sanitary housing to those in need. The city's Housing Opportunities Commission was formed a little over a year ago and encourages the goal of affordable housing through policy review and providing recommendations on projects which promote affordable housing. One of their biggest accomplishments in the past year was the creation of the Affordable Housing Fund policy, which was taken to and approved by the City Council. Through the efforts of the Dairyland Housing Coalition, approximately $833,000 is brought into the city annually for the purpose of providing services such as rapid rehousing, coordinated entry, case management, shelter, outreach, and prevention for the housing insecure in our community. The Dairyland Coalition meets monthly to work on strategies which focus on long-term solutions that will benefit the populations they serve. Thank you for the opportunity to provide you with this information. I am honored, fortunate, and humbled to work for a city that not only strives to provide good government to its citizens, but recognizes the need for affordable housing for its residents.
Since its beginning, social gatherings and community celebrations have been a part of Eau Claire. In 1857, a dance was held every Friday night. Music Hall, built in 1869 on the northwest corner of Barstow and East Grand, could seat 1,500 people in its third-floor auditorium and held concerts, theater productions, spelling bees, lectures, dances, and masquerade balls. The Eau Claire Opera House, built in 1883 on South Barstow, had similar programs and events and welcomed traveling theater groups and orchestras from major U.S. cities. Today, we understand that regardless of a person's age, loneliness is often as debilitating a health condition as chronic illness or disease. Sadness and isolation can be combated by having opportunities to socialize and the availability of accessible, affordable, and fun social activities. Intergenerational gatherings and activities like the sculpture tour, seasonal festivals downtown, and weekly concerts in our parks are an excellent way for people of all ages to learn from one another, honor what the other has to offer, and feel good about themselves.
Hi, my name is Mary Pica Anderson, and I'm the Executive Director at the L.A. Phillips Senior Center, where we promote successful aging for those 50 and over.
It is here we see the value of social connections for our aging population. Whether it's playing a game of bridge, taking a strength and balance class, or sipping on a cup of coffee, we know these social connections are key to healthy aging. No matter if you're 50 or 80, our goal at the center is to help seniors maintain their sense of belonging, which has a positive impact on their health, wellness, and quality of life.
150 years ago, in 1872, Eau Claire had 2 daily newspapers and a telegraph station. Telephones arrived in 1878, and by the early 1880s, residents could call Chippewa Falls. By 1890, Eau Claire had 4 English newspapers, a German newspaper, and a Norwegian newspaper. When the city was incorporated, it was divided into 6 wards and governed by a mayor and common council composed of aldermen. Women, who could not vote until 1920, exerted influence through petitions and social and service clubs. Today, we communicate in ways that surely would have been unimaginable 150 years ago. Newspapers, radio, TV, smartphones, websites, and social media make it possible for us to communicate anywhere, at any time. Sharing information, encouraging civic engagement, and providing opportunities to broaden communication is vital to the success of a growing city and ensuring that all perspectives are included and all voices are heard.
Hi, I'm Berge from the Eau Claire City Council here just to take a minute to talk about the different ways that you all can get involved in our city government. First of all, we have numerous boards, commissions, and committees that you can get involved in, whether it be Plan Commission or housing committees, sustainability, waterways and parks, lots of different ways for you all to get involved. Also, the City Council enacted an upstanding public comment period. So this means that our public hearing twice a month, you can come and share an idea, a concern, or really any feedback you want to share. This is also true at any board, commission, or committee meeting throughout the month too. So if you have something more specific, let's say about parks, you can go to the park meeting and share your idea. So just different ways for you all to get involved. The City Council really encourages public involvement because we know that cities work best when we work together.
Hi, Brad Candell here, standing in our new ice rink and new playground in the historic Shawtown neighborhood. I'm currently the president of the Shawtown Neighborhood Association, which formed in 2019 as a little bit different of a neighborhood association. Our focus is positivity, and it was started around neighbors wanting to make our neighborhood better. We've done that by cleaning up parks, planting trees, and working with the city to find new and innovative ways to engage with our neighbors and make positive improvements.
From Eau Claire's earliest years and throughout the 19th century, diphtheria and smallpox outbreaks threatened the community's health. In 1885, one of the local newspapers reported that no time since 1870 have we as a community been free from diphtheria troubles for over 2 months at a time. Eau Claire's first hospital, Sacred Heart Hospital, didn't open until 1889. Over the past few years, communities have awakened to the value of safe, healthy, and connected neighborhoods. As our city planners chart a course for expansion and continued growth, we must incorporate valuable tools such as health impact assessments and the city comprehensive plan in our planning processes. In addition, all residents must be able to access and afford the healthcare services they require.
Every 3 years, we ask residents what their top health priorities are, and last year they told us mental health, obesity, and healthy nutrition. This now becomes the work of our Eau Claire Healthy Communities Coalition. And this is because we know that what determines our health is more than about going to the doctor. It's about safe sidewalks and parks, healthy food, education, and so much more. We now also have a way to think about health before rather than after community growth takes place. Health impact assessments, specifically called out in the comprehensive plan, are a tool to find ways to maximize health benefits in the policies and projects we take on. We especially need to consider health impacts for those that may have poorer health simply because of where they live, work, or play. As we plan our community, we can also plan for healthier people and a healthier future.
Over the past few years, the University of Wisconsin Eau Claire has been proud to partner with the City of Eau Claire, the Health Department, and other stakeholders to make sure that the way we design our public spaces keeps in mind not only the beauty of the space, but public health. We were an anchor institution for the Invest Health Initiative from the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, which surveyed community health in underserved areas, helping us identify chronic conditions like asthma and hypertension that can actually be diminished if people have a more active lifestyle and stay socially connected. And that same data helped us get the Winter Mission grant from 880 cities and the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation. The idea of an 880 city is that if you design a public space that works for 8-year-olds and 80-year-olds, you're going to have vibrant public life year-round. And that kind of amenity, social connectedness, and physical activity
makes the community healthier. By collaborating this way, the city's made it possible for us to make sure that Eau Claire is moving forward together.
So I'd like to thank the staff and community and city council members who helped us with the video. Absolutely fabulous job. And I'd like to thank Tess Morgan again for her help with that. They say history repeats itself, and seeing the similarities between our city 150 years ago and today, how we value the domains that make our city livable is just as true today and tomorrow as they were back then. There are an incredible number of accomplishments in 2021 and many lofty goals ahead in 2022. We'll talk about the goals later in our presentation, but first I'd like to highlight a couple of significant accomplishments that stand out from this past year. Accomplishments that are examples of how our city is striving to work for everyone. First, the city made commitments to change the way we engage with ourselves and the community with 2 key additions to our staff. The city, along with our county partners, made a permanent commitment to equity, diversity, and inclusion through the addition of Dr. Janice Briggs as our EDI coordinator. And Dr. Briggs is seated over here. The Eau Claire Police Department also made a permanent commitment to the way in which they approach compassionate policing with the community through the addition of Ms. Lita Prorak as our mental health co-response coordinator. These 2 leaders began their efforts running. Dr. Briggs joined the city in June, and in only 6 months, she held 212 meetings with internal and external stakeholders. Ms. Prorak assisted community members in need 85 times in 2021. Thank you both for your great efforts. The second significant accomplishment was the implementation of the City Council's pledge to affordable housing in our community. This financial commitment, the Affordable Housing Fund, is essential with the rising cost of housing, low housing inventories, and inflation. It provides that little extra funding needed to partner with private developers to ensure affordable apartments are available in new developments for persons experiencing low to moderate incomes. These 2 accomplishments mark the city's commitment to be a diverse, inclusive, and equitable city for all. In addition to these accomplishments, we saw achievements across all of our city departments. Our finance department led our city to finish the year within budget. This was especially difficult given our budget has lagged inflation for the last 10 years. They continue to further the transparency of our budget process with numerous work sessions for the public and city council to learn more about and comment on the city's budgets. They wrapped up the year with work sessions and public forums to begin community engagement and education on the allocation of ARPA funds.
Our transportation department began the long-awaited Eau Claire Transit Transfer Center, a project that has been in the works for over 30 years. Transit also implemented a new fare collection system that increased payment accessibility for all riders, and proudly, the transit system did not miss a single day of operation throughout 2021 in spite of the pandemic. We are continually grateful for their hard work and dedication to keep equitable and accessible transportation services running for all. Community development supported and oversaw our second highest year in new development, valuations totaling $277 million. You don't have to look far to find a new project or a 10-story crane in our growing city. In addition, planning staff and community volunteers work tirelessly to launch participatory budgeting, a democratic process which gives communities the ability to directly impact our capital budgeting process. Also, they adopted the Affordable Housing Fund policy and was awarded the 2021 Planning Excellence Honor for Eau Claire's Renewable Energy Action Plan. Economic development celebrated the completion and grand opening of Hy-Vee, bringing in 600 new jobs to our community. New business expansions in both Gateway and Sky Park were completed, and staff is off and running with several new developments in our Cannery district. In addition, they work side by side, supporting DECI and our bid boards, promoting area businesses, International Fall Festival, Grand Evening on the Bridge, and Haymarket Holiday, to name a few. Our legal staff continue to work alongside economic development, securing development agreements for numerous new projects including the city's largest residential apartment development to date in the Cannery District, with 250 new units, which 20% will be affordable to residents making 80% less of CMI, and 10 units affordable to those at 60% of CMI. This is a first for our city and our region. They also assisted the city in navigating legal, regulatory, and policy implications regarding PFAS, along with facilitating training and education programs, negotiations, and bargaining.
And our Human Resources Department continually helped employees navigate the complexities of the COVID-19 pandemic, whether it was through new policies to keep employees safe or additional and flexible leave to help employees and their families recover. They also held the first on-site city hiring fair, which was very successful to help recruit much needed employees in this tough employment market. And lastly, they worked with Dr. Briggs to begin planning the city's commitment to EDI through our hiring practices, staff training, and our official documents. Our Utilities Division continued to provide safe drinking water to our residents in the face of challenges caused by PFAS that was identified in areas of our well field. They implemented customer-friendly improvements to the lead service line replacement program that resulted in 209 lead service lines being replaced in 2021, twice the number that were replaced in 2020. And they continue the day in and day out mundane tasks that keep our water on for everybody and keep the waste flowing downhill. As our longtime former Public Works Director, Brian Amundsen, liked to say, they're number one in the business of number two.
Our library organized, packed, and moved everything to their temporary library space on Mall Drive, creating the same welcoming environment by resuming normal, no appointment needed services. Also providing safe alternatives to indoor, in-person programs with new virtual and outdoor formats, such as story time in the park. Turning the page to 2022, and now a third story sits atop of our beloved library. We anxiously await the fall opening and congratulate them on nearing the finish line on their fundraising goal. Our fire department responded to nearly 10,000 calls in Eau Claire and our neighboring townships in 2021. In addition to conducting thousands of fire inspections, public education programs, and continued training, they worked with city and county health department in developing necessary COVID-19 safeguards, providing emergency services, along with supporting and staffing our vaccination clinics. The Parks Division helped bring a smile to area residents with the return of baseball to Carson Park, along with the prepping and grooming of our parks and facilities for the return of programmed activities. They also increased the accessibility through the Safe Routes to Parks program and extensive ADA improvements in all of our parks. In addition, staff worked collaboratively with a diverse group of stakeholders to facilitate a new skate park and added 2 new winter skating rinks in neighborhoods that previously had access to none.
And our Recreation Division resumed programming much needed activities for children and adults alike. They bounced back with 5,500 registrants for activities in 2021, and they set attendance records for the first 2 weeks the pool was open. They helped the community get active again and restore that piece of normalcy. Our Streets Division faced the same product shortages and supply chain issues the rest of us faced. They were able to navigate these challenges and met all of their street maintenance goals. An environmentally friendly and cost savings goal was lowering the usage of salt for snow removal. And the Streets Division once again lowered the salt usage for each snow event through efficient and innovative strategies. And our Engineering Department faced an unexpected challenge when the 140-year-old High Bridge, an important part of both our history and our present-day trail system, was suddenly in need of emergency repair. The repair of this bridge spawned great interest in the community, even prompting the creation of Facebook pages and inspiring photographers to journal its repair. Engineering continued to engage the community members where they were at, with public information sessions held in the neighborhoods and online to make the feedback process as accessible as possible for affected residents.
In 2021, our City County Health Department helped administer more than 122,500 doses of the COVID-19 vaccine. They reached out to more than 12,000 individuals with COVID, answering questions, providing resources and disease investigation, and continued the work to address COVID alongside our schools, healthcare organizations, groups that address health barriers in our area businesses. In addition, they completed the 2021 Community Health Assessment, supported continued work with pregnant women and families at risk of negative health and social outcomes, and collaborated with healthcare, law enforcement, community organizations, schools, and others to address substance misuse and overdose.
And our police department achieved much in 2021 as well, starting with the creation of the Mental Health Co-Response Program. The entire department overall responded to almost 50,000 calls for service last year. That's on average a call every 10 minutes, every single day, every single week, every single month. The department continued to engage with the community through the very popular National Night Out and participating in our neighborhood association meetings. The way in which our police department policed collaboratively with the community resulted in the department being recognized by the International Association of Chiefs of Police as one of the world's best police departments for their work with innovative community engagement. Our information technology division kept the city operating remotely through year 2 of our pandemic. Everyone who needed to work from home was able to. And throughout the year, they responded to 7,579 help calls and wrapped up the year by upgrading 41 public safety vehicles while also implementing the dual multi-factor authentication security upgrade throughout our IT system. It was quite an accomplishment to help secure our cybersecurity. And the city manager's office focused on assisting the city council with council meetings and implementing council's policies and directives. In addition, the city manager's office focused on collaborating with the community to move partnerships forward. Some of the outcomes of the collaboration were the Community Warming Center, the Sonotake Center, the support of the city's EDI initiatives, standing up to anti-Asian hate, and working with our other local governmental bodies to coordinate the COVID-19 response. And our city clerk, Ms. Carrie Riepel, continued to conduct fair, safe, accessible, and transparent elections. She also oversaw a city redistricting process that resulted in new voter wards throughout the city. And once again, we are proud, and this is one of my favorite parts of the presentation, that Eau Claire continued to receive national recognition in different areas in 2021 by being named to several different lists. We were named the #1 best city in the country for soul searching, the #2 most livable college city, the #2 best river walk and hike by river city. We were the 5th most livable small city in America, and we made the top 10 list in Wisconsin for top 10 fastest growing Wisconsin communities and top 10 most charming towns and small cities in Wisconsin. We made the top 25 list nationally for best small cities for retirement and rounded out the list with being in the top 50 best small cities in America to start a business.
2021 was an amazing year in every regard. At this time, I want to take a moment to recognize the 3 at-large city council members that will be stepping down from their leadership roles in April. Councilmember John Lohr, with 3 years of service on council. Council Vice President Emmanuel, with 10 years of service on council. And Councilmember David Klinkhammer, with 14 years of service on our council. Their contributions have truly made Eau Claire a stronger and healthier community. Please join with me in applauding these 3 individuals for their tremendous work, leadership, and commitment to our great city.
So all that we accomplished is truly remarkable, and I'll leave you with one last accomplishment. We continue to meet the needs of the community and provide all the services residents rely on. The way in which services were provided changed at times, but we continued on. This couldn't have been accomplished but for the efforts of each and every one of our hardworking employees. We had a number of those employees retire as well. The following 16 people that you see before you on the screen had a combined 334 years of service to our community, and they all retired last year. That's an average of over 20 years of service for each employee.
So what's in store for 2022? A lot. Number one, we hope to reshape and re-engage our Shared Services Committee with community and regional partners. We hope to continue our ARPA discussions and decide how we can effectively and sustainably fund the organizations and entities in need. To begin the discussion around post-COVID, the pandemic has taught us a great deal these past 2 years, and now we need to incorporate that knowledge into forward-thinking policies and processes for our next generation. We hope to expand our efforts around affordable housing initiatives and continuing to think outside the box. To have an open discussion regarding a referendum in 2022 and the continued challenges of meeting the needs of this community. In addition, we plan to continue to assist the Landfill Siting Committee, mitigating impacts surrounding the proposed 7 Mile Creek landfill expansion, and to re-engage in core public health programs, including those addressing prevention needs related to mental health, drug use, alcohol misuse, obesity, and health nutrition.
And we'll also partner with Eau Claire County and the City of Altoona to conduct the regional housing study. And we'll look to expand our city's well fields. We will complete many large, important municipal projects and developments, such as a transit center, the library, Fire Station 6 remodel, the skate park, and more. We're going to take some time and we're going to relax and celebrate and enjoy the city's 150th birthday. We'll begin the implementation of the city's EDI strategic plan and act on new EDI initiatives. And we'll complete our first year of participatory budgeting and start right back in on year 2. We'll continue to enhance community and neighborhood engagement. So as you can see, we have a lot of work ahead of us in 2022 and much to look forward to. Like each year before, there will be great challenges and great triumphs. Our city council, city staff, and community partners and our residents continue to thrive on both.
In closing, I first want to thank Scott Rogers, Dave Miner, Jen McHugh, and their staff for hosting this event. We are fortunate for all the work that you and our community partners do for our city. We hear the praise often regarding the working relationships we have amongst all of our community partners. Together, you chose to ignore the political concerns that divided parts of our nation by holding ourselves or yourselves to a higher standard and always putting our community first. We thank you. I would like to thank the Pablo Performing Arts Center for continuing to raise the bar and lead by example in our community. To Interim City Manager Solberg, to Dave, thank you. The City of Eau Claire appreciates all your work these past 17 months in leading our city through some of the most trying challenges and events in our history, always with a smile, a positive approach, and the aspirations to succeed. We are very appreciative. Thank you to our amazing city staff, all 550 of you. We are inspired by your dedication and love for our city. You help put us on the map. You keep us open and operating every single day, and you are our path to a greater tomorrow. To Ms. Marole and Ms. Morgan, with great appreciation for all your time and creativity on the state of the city and the work that you do day in and day out for the City of Eau Claire. And a big thanks to you, the 70,000 residents of Eau Claire. It has been a long and challenging 2 years, and we've asked much of you during that time. Resiliency, though, is a characteristic we wear proudly in our city. And now is the time that we, as a community and as leaders, stand together, dust off the tiredness, and frustration and fear, and push on to a new and healthier future. To my fellow council members, thank you again for all the good that you do. Lastly, there are struggles and inequities in our city, state, and nation. And sadly, none of them can be cured by the stroke of a pen. I wish it was that easy. Now more than ever, it is up to us as individuals to make real and effective change. And I encourage all of you to find a way in making a difference. Reintroduce yourself to the world around you, reach out to your neighbors, volunteer to serve, become engaged with something you have passion for, and again, strive each and every day to do more. Thank you. Mr. Solberg.
I wholeheartedly agree with the words and thanks that you gave, Terry, and echo the same sentiments. And I share my gratitude as well. But I'd also like to thank you. Thank you for your guidance and leadership as president of our city council. Your kindness, humor, and heart are ever present, and your love for Eau Claire and desire for everyone to feel valued, included, and to succeed are evident in everything that you do. So thank you. And thank you to all who played a part in making 2021 a successful year for our city. So now, please, if you could raise your glass and join us in saluting our great city. Happy 150th birthday, Eau Claire.
Happy birthday.
Cheers.
Cheers.
We were able to finish on time, so we have a few minutes for questions if anybody has any questions of us. Otherwise, there might be an additional 15 minutes of free time for everybody this morning. So, well, thank you again.
Yeah, again, we appreciate everyone joining us this morning. Have a great day.